Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to On the Perf Podcast. My name is Adam Reiser. With me today, as always, my co-host, Mr. Adam Maxwell. Mr. Maxwell, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I just rode in from the dusty trail. Put this IPSC Shotgun Qualifier thing to bed. So
yeah, back from Nebraska. Last qualifier was yesterday. Technically, it is Sunday, but you're going to hear this on Wednesday, so you guys know what we're talking about. As always, On the Perf Podcast, brought to you by Atlas Gunworks, and I have another Atlas pistol on the way.
what?
So I am teaching a LE class next Sunday, and it seemed pretty incorrect to show up to a LE class with a comped or a ported, Apollo pistol that seemed a little overgunned. So
that is how I got pregnant.
Yeah, I reached out to our buddy and said, like, hey, man, do you have something a little more appropriate that you can send me that I can run in this class? And so I have, is it the Nyx? Is that how you say it? NYX?
Yeah, I've not shot a Nyx.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. It's kind of, I would call it about as close to a carry gun as a double stack 1911 really gets. It's like a 4.25, little tiny, very minimalistic Magwell. It'll be
I think it's
interesting
aluminum
little gun to
frame
shoot.
too, isn't it?
I don't know. Actually, it might be. I'll have to look into it more. It's one of those, like, I haven't gotten into the not 3-gun open gun pistols very heavily yet, because the focus thus far has been getting me a pistol appropriate for the sport that I do. So now I get to play around and branch out, and I am stoked to try out a new one. It's going to be an interesting one.
I had one of those on order for a minute, and then I bailed for an Artemis, I think.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, you are a tried and true OG 1911 carrier guy, so I think, especially for something, I mean, I carry a Glock 43. Like, I'm a small dude. I can only hide so much gun. I think double stack world is pretty much out for me in terms of a carry pistol. Like, I carried 19 for a little while, and it was hard. It's hard to hide that thing.
Wide body 1911 is really kind of borderline for me too. So
yeah, definitely not. But
you need kind of just the right shapes. I am not finding the answer to our question immediately. I believe it is aluminum framed though.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, this would be a cool one to check out. This would be a pretty big departure. We are also brought to you by Bradley Manufacturing. What is the story on your gun? Did it get there in time for the match?
Oh my God.
What did I just uncork?
Yeah. So again, this is not Robbie's fault. He did not know when I was leaving. But I had, before I rolled out to, so Adam's grand adventure, for, I guess, what would this be, the second week of September, I went, did a work thing in Ohio, pretty near Dayton, Ohio. And so I left from here, had to go to a thing in Ohio on Tuesday, and then I was going to truck across America to Nebraska for the final shotgun qualifier and then come home. And so I was rolling out on Monday, and I texted, it was either Monday morning or Sunday evening. I hit Robbie up. I was like, hey, do you have tracking on that thing? I think it was Monday morning, because I was kind of deciding. I kind of knew they shipped it on like Thursday night or Friday. And I was like, okay, we're spanning a weekend. Like, it could show up. But, like, the way Vortex receives a lot of parcels every day. And by a lot of parcels, I mean a lot of parcels. So just because something's going out for delivery today to work doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be there right away at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I was debating if I was going to wait for it, and I hadn't really heard anything. He didn't ping me back right away. So I finished packing up and leaving, and I was an hour down the road when Robbie replied to me and said, "Delivered, ba 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 ba." And I'm like, and I had that moment where I'm like,
do I turn it around?
do I turn around right now? And I looked at my ETA for getting to where I had to go, and my arrival was already like 9:30 at night, or maybe 10.
Ooh.
And so I'm
So
like,
you're looking at like a midnight pull-in. That's rough.
yeah. And I'm like, okay, doable. But then what are my odds of being able to set this thing up and shoot it before the match? Because what have we learned from On the Perf podcast, Riser? We don't
Never,
show
ever
up.
shoot untrusted guns in a match.
Yeah. And so, like, in my head, I was like, well, maybe I could fudge it somewhere. I kind of had a float day in there. I had kind of not enough time to go home, but too much time to be there. So I was like, But I looked at that ETA time, and I'm like, nope, this is a sign. It was not meant to be. Keep going. So I have not picked it up yet. It is still at work, pending paperwork. I should have it tomorrow.
Nice.
But
I'm looking forward to hearing how that thing came out.
Me too. It's it's here. It's here just in time for there not to be any more 3-gun or shotgun action until next spring. But anyway,
so you don't have any more 3-gun matches this year?
I don't think so. I have race gun, which is a handgun match. I have Area 2, which is also a handgun match, and then I have PCSL. Yeah, I have PCSL, and I think that's the list. Which it sounds kind of like not very much, but like I've already shot a bunch of matches already this year. So
we're pretty deep into a season at this point.
But again, it's just kind of it's just weird to think about because like you and I both still consider 3-gun our primary sport, but then it's like, man, I shot a lot of matches, but I didn't really shoot a lot of 3-gun matches. And there used to be, there used to be like 3 or 4 in the fall. Like it was like Yosemite Sam, bop, 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 all the way through the fall.
I still got 2 3-gun matches coming up left. I got Memorial here in a few weeks, and then I got Vortex Shootout about a month after that. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Vortex Shootout. And the only reason I'm not going to Vortex Shootout is it is double booked with Race Gun, and the reason I'm going to Race Gun is there is a work thing tied in the same weekend as Race Gun, so I can shoot Race Gun with the staff. So I can shoot the pre-match at Race Gun. That's the only reason I get to shoot Race Gun. Otherwise, I wouldn't get to shoot either. Which is good because you know I got that 40 major load worked up for Limb 10.
Oh yeah.
The other interesting thing, Briley wise, I guess, however, I was on my way back, and of course, when you're east west on I-80, you got to stop in at Brownells, and so I stopped in Brownells and trolled the racks, and once one of the things I troll the racks for is used Benelli M2s at a tasty price. And I spied with my little eye.
No, really?
Yeah, the going rate was $8.99. And I'm like, that's pretty good. And so I think I might have saved your M2's status in your collection for a while because they may have scored those M2s to cut up instead.
Nice.
I know you were really torn about it.
Yeah, I was really torn about it.
And then the final Briley thing.
I wasn't going to get rid of it. I think that
I didn't think
that
you were
one has
either.
No, that one has too much sentimental value. There's a few guns in the safe that are just sentimental to me, and I think that's one of them. I did a lot of stuff with that gun.
Yeah. And then the other thing, Briley, before we actually move on. So registration is going. I'm range master at this match, and which is kind of ironic because everybody else at this match was trying very, very hard not to be in charge. So like I showed up at 6:00 on a Thursday, and they're like, "All right, what do we do?" And I'm like, "You live here. Like, what do you mean? What do we do? So I was kind of hanging out for registration, and so I was over at the Briley tent, which we set up the Briley tent right next to registration. Robbie had his spread out, and I sit in the chair, and they're like, "Oh, hey, look at that one over there." And I'm like, I've seen all these guns before. Like, they're like, "No, that one over there." And I went and I picked it up, and they showed me a Ruger 1022. And now you're saying to yourself,
What?
I've seen a million Ruger 1022s. What could possibly be done to a Ruger 1022 that has not been done before? An M2 trainer chassis. He made a chassis where he could put a Benelli stock on it and the shotgun handguard, and then he rigged up some kind of weight on the bottom like a magazine tube. He made a 22 feel like an M2. Like,
That's awesome.
it's I'm like shit. Where was this 14 months ago?
Yeah.
Because that's my biggest training problem with the shotgun stuff. As I reflected all the way home, it's like, man, I didn't go hard enough, and it's like my biggest challenge with practicing the shotgun stuff live fire wise is I have range access that a lot of people would kill for at work. However, you cannot shoot shotguns in there, really. And even if you can, which you kind of can, you can't do what we want to do in there. Yeah. That would just, the way the traps are set up and everything, and the wads and OSHA, like how you have to clean up the tools you have available to clean an indoor range, it's a nightmare. So I can practice any sort of single projectile thing I want, but to do shotgun stuff, it's basically an hour and a half round trip in the car. So that really limits it. So I'm like, man, because that was an idea I had. I actually looked at that SIG MCX, the California compliant one that has like a sporter stock on it, the PCC. Yeah. Or no, MPX, excuse me. And I was like, yeah, like that could be kind of... I actually had that idea in my head. So I'm like super stoked that they had this idea and they came out with this. I swear, I think it makes no sense until you look, and it looks weird. It kind of looks like a paintball gun, honestly, because it's got the weight on the bottom. Like it looks kind of like a gas reservoir. Mm-hmm. But
Interesting.
If you close your eyes and they put it in your hand, it feels like an M2. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm like, I don't even care what it costs. Just put my name on one and we'll figure it out.
Yep.
So
yeah. You are like every salesman's dream.
Kind of.
It's like, hey, I have a shiny thing that's related to the sport that you do, and you're like, cool. Just put it in the mail. Yeah, here's a check with my name on it. Just write in whatever number is appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the login to my Venmo. Just kind of help yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Jesus.
All right. But
well,
the road
before we get into into the IPSC qualifier here, it sounds to me, based off of the solo episode that you did while I was out in Washington State, that you've been saving up a Gary for a minute.
Yeah. So
I'm curious.
This one's been bothering me for a while.
All right.
And I'm really worried you're gonna think it's lame. The Gary of the day. Well, first of all, after the last couple of Garys of the day, I think we need to reiterate, this is not the Darwin Awards, everyone.
Yes.
Okay?
If somebody actually gets shot, it is not a Gary.
To be abundantly clear, we are not interested in those kinds of stories. Again, the point of the Gary of the day is kind of like these people think they're doing the right thing and they don't know it. Yeah. But yeah, like stuff that people like actually get hurt. I mean, Riser probably wants to hear their stories, but I actually don't. Like, I really don't find stories where people get hurt very funny. So like, please don't send us your so and so got shot stories. We're not gonna read them. All that stuff. But so just getting Gary of the day back on track here a little bit. The Gary of the day is liquid chalk mittens guy.
Oh, like so much liquid chalk that he looks like he's wearing gloves.
He looks like he's the Cookie Monster got caught with his hand in the powdered donuts bag, walking around the range. Like I have never used liquid chalk ever, and now it's almost a point of like I don't want to. I understand the purpose. People are like, my hands get sweaty. Yeah, that's what your body does when it's hot outside. But like the problem, everything in moderation, right? Like open bar at a wedding, right? Like the old fashioned bar riser. Am I right?
I am catastrophically hungover today, you guys. I was at a wedding of my very good friend, and the open bar that was serving old fashions with a very liberal pour, especially in the grand scheme of Utah. So I'm not even at 60% today. I'm real rough. Anyways, so everybody knows what Maxwell's giving me shit about.
So old fashions are delicious.
They are.
But it gets to a point where it's too many. And that's the same thing with liquid chalk. Like it does have a legit purpose. And a lot of people who are very good shooters use it. However, it gets to a point, and the reason I point it out, and it might be a Gary of the day, is because it kind of becomes a crutch to people, or almost like a ritual. And so people get almost a little bit too ritualized in it. And the problem is like sometimes that kind of stuff, like you run out or you don't have enough. And so like when people all of a sudden find that they have gone Winchester on liquid chalk, they look like Dave Chappelle in the Chappelle show, like, yo, got any of that liquid chalk? Like they start twitching.
Was it Tyrone Biggins? Was that his name?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm trying,
but yeah.
I think it was Tyrone Biggins. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Chappelle, like, hey, got any more of that liquid chalk? They get like super desperate, and like, you know, the mental game is so important in our sport and doing well. Like the amount of disruption that inserts into a chalk addicted shooter's life is cause for concern. And so I noticed this because I was on a squad with a guy, and I gave it the name Chalk Mittens at Factory Gun Nationals. There's a guy on our squad, literally, like, his hands were covered in it, like, above his wrists. Like, he had a shitload of this stuff on every stage. And I'm like, okay, that's not lotion, bro. And, like, in fact, it's quite the opposite of lotion. And I was like, well, why do you put it, like, why would you even put it on the back of your hands? And then I like, okay, well, his hands are sweaty and he's going to wrap his hand. Okay. But like, damn, dude, like it was way above his wrists. Of course it's all over his gun. And I'm just like, that's almost like that's like a too much of a good thing scenario. That like, I would just caution you against it. And then like I get, you know, here in the upper Midwest in the winter, it gets very dry. Do you guys use humidifiers where you're from? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Okay. So yeah, here, like we're humid in the summer, but we dry out in the winter. In the middle of winter in an indoor match. All right. It's like the dude took his hoodie off to get ready to shoot. All right. He's not sweating. Puts the chalk on. Bill, you wanted me to use your name. So, Bill, cut it out.
Knock it off, Bill. Get your shit together, buddy.
Chill out. The rest of you at WGC, you know who you are. Unless you don't, in which case we're gonna meet at Chili's later. We're gonna have a little intervention.
Nice.
But the chalk mittens are the Gary of the day. Like, that shit gets out of hand sometimes.
I can get behind that. All right, I'm glad we've brought the Gary down a notch. It was getting a little out of hand there.
Someone's about to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so our topic for the day, Mr. Maxwell is fresh back from Nebraska at the final. Was there 5 or 6?
There were 6 altogether.
At the 6th IPSC Shotgun Qualifier for this year.
The road to Greece culminated in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska.
Yep.
Right next door to Hornady.
Yep. Faux show. So I am let's start. Where do you want to start at here, buddy?
I mean,
so to be clear, these aren't the teams.
Yes.
This is the overall points race. There are other things in play here. If you want a bunch of clarification on that, Amax just did a video on his YouTube channel, a quick little 5-minute thing explaining. But the points themselves don't guarantee you a spot on the team because there are other things that are in play. But if you are, undeniable, then you are undeniable.
Yeah.
Where some things are going to come into play is, things like availability and scheduling and stuff along those lines. So.
Absolutely.
Make it pretty interesting. And I actually haven't seen these yet. I just opened it up, seeing things for the first time. So where do you want to start?
I guess we'll just start at the top because you only care about open, so we just start at the top. But yes, these are preliminary. This is just the points as they stacked up in the race. The policy is heavily biased towards the points in the shooting, but there are other stuff like Reiser said. The committee's going to look at all this stuff. And like I said in that video, there are other things that factor in that may affect someone's eligibility or not, or if they're able to go. Because I don't know, maybe is rock climbing like this? When I was a young warthog, and I wanted to go, I really wanted to go snowmobiling out west. So we would actually try to come out by where you are to go snowmobiling in the winter. And I would pitch it around to all my friends. Hey man, you want to go? Yeah. Everyone wants to go.
Then when it's time to actually go.
And it's like, hey man, I need this much money from you, and we're gonna go on this date. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, no, it's like that in all of life.
Yep.
I mean, try rounding up a alpine climbing partner for a 2-week Alaska trip.
Right. Yeah, I would assume it's very similar. Oh yeah, man, that'd be sick. And it's like, well, I'm going in 2 weeks. Are you coming? Well, this 2 weeks, from now? No, next year. Yes, 2 weeks from now. The one that really the big thing that trips up a lot of people, even if they're legit the pick, not having your paperwork in order. Not having your gun permits done, shipping the ammo, passport. And then the passport. People have legit, I've heard stories from the RD, basically people didn't have their passport information in, so he's like, hey, can I get your passport number? And they're like, oh, yeah, I need to go and get that. And he's like, we're leaving in 2 weeks. You can't get a passport that... So a lot of it is people not having their shit together. But yes, they're going to probably take, a team by policy is 4 off the top. USPSA fields a team of 4 because they take the best 3 of those 4 for the scores for the team. So it's like Steel Challenge, all right? It's not because you're the 4th guy, they only use you if you need you. They take the best 3 scores of the 4 people you send. And then I would imagine they would designate a few alternates on this list as well. That'll all be forthcoming. They'll notify people privately before they do it publicly, and they're kind of shitty about communicating, really anything. So I wouldn't wait with bated breath too long. We'll get there when it's time, when the stuff's actually official. But I would assume they would announce this stuff like before Christmas. Anyway, so open division. Number 1, we have, surprise, surprise, Varick Bizey, who had a 300 locked in since June.
And still went to the last 2.
Yep, he wrote them up. I think Todd Waddell said it was Varick, Todd Waddell, and myself were the only 3 people that shot all 6 of these. And Todd's the kind of guy that keeps track of that kind of thing.
Yep.
But, so Varick Bizey sitting on top with a solid 3 hundo. And right behind him, are we surprised? John Waddell. John did not shoot Nebraska. I believe he had an Army obligation that kept him from that. But he's a solid second with 298 points. And then that is where it got interesting.
Yes, it did.
Because we had...
Remember when I bombed the Texas match? And I bombed so bad that I sold my caddies and I flew home.
I mean, who could forget?
And I said, Scott Green actually shot exactly the same percentage of me, and I'm pretty sure that he is going in exactly the opposite direction and dry firing in his hotel room before the flight out. Scott Green followed it up with Kansas, Minnesota, and this one in Nebraska to pull home 285 points and get the 3rd spot coming out of nowhere.
Atta boy, Scott.
So hot right now. Also, a hundo in Nebraska.
Yeah. And a hundo.
Yeah.
And
against Varick.
And Varick got an 88. All right.
Yeah. Scott put a beat down on everybody in Nebraska.
Yeah. I used to say you got to shoot open angry. And I think that's what Scott did.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So Scott Green bringing home the 3 spot. And our boy, everybody get your drinks ready, Brian Nelson, rounding out the top 4.
Yep. No showed this match, but he's sitting on a solid 279
total. Yep. So 99 and 88 and 91 to round it out. So even though he's only able to make 3, all 3 of his scores counted. Nice job, Brian. And I feel like we should talk about at least to the top 5 here.
Yep.
Because, who knows? Things might fall apart. So the 5 spot, our buddy Joe Farewell.
And in the running for this team, like a lot of people were wondering how these 3 were going to shake out.
The Brian Scott Joe race could have gone any direction right up until the end of this match. Yep,
and the last few events, Joe has had matches where people were like, "Ooh, kind of got dealt a shitty hand." That wasn't representative of Joe. Like, we hope he puts it together at the next one. And so, I really wanted to see Joe hook up to see how this would all shake out. And I watched his first stage, and his first stage, for those who were there, it was stage 10. Stage 10, Riser, you weren't there. It had essentially 12 poppers. This is one of the more creative stages that they had. It had essentially 12 poppers with, it's kind of one of those, there's an aisle down the middle, and you end up at some walls at the end. So a bunch of poppers in the beginning, all in a row, big ones, really close. And then one of those triggered 2 trap machines, like legit Sporting Clays traps. And the traps were in the next bay over. So it alley-ooped them over the top and threw them way high.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that's super cool.
And they were on a 3-second delay. So when the popper fell and pulled the cable 1000, 1003, and then it threw them.
Interesting.
So you have probably about 5 seconds, actually almost exactly 5 seconds until you see these things. And my dilemma here on the match admin side is well, how many points do we make those worth?
How long were they visible after you could see them?
We'll say a solid 3 seconds. But they were up there. They were up there. And they were
that's cool.
on a blue sky. It was orange on blue, so they were kind of hard to see. And what made it awkward was the timing, right? Like you weren't quite sure, and it's kind of the opposite of what we're used to in that when we activate things, like you kind of have to shoot it right away, or like maybe you can get one or two other things. I was actually the first person to shoot it at the match. It was my turn to go first when we were there, and we had a big peanut gallery watching us. We had Matt Martini, Sam Larkin, I think Rob Lowe was there as well, or no, is Rob? Chuck Lowe, excuse me, Chuck Lowe.
Yep.
A few other guys, legit guys, but they're watching, and Todd Waddell. They're watching us taking notes like the whole day, and I was the first one to do it. And then I decided to, because back to Minnesota, in Minnesota when we threw them, I intended to make some launch clays worth 20 points. Again, trying to force people to shoot them, so you can't just skip them and do better, because that just is wrong. But that's on me as the match director to incentivize you to shoot it. But the way that one worked out in Minnesota, if we would have done that due to an accident, they ended up getting scored as 10 points instead of 20. If I would have made them 20 points, the math would have tipped in the favor of not shooting them, where when they were 10 points, they did have to shoot them. How do they know that? I don't know. Matt taught ChatGPT how to figure this stuff out, and I think it just tells him now. But the AI is taken over. So these were worth 10 points. And so 10 points, no penalty mic, so there's no penalty associated with not shooting them. But the thing was how would the timing work? And then it was a pretty quick stage otherwise. And so back to Joe, the first stage, Joe started on that stage, or actually he started a stage in front of it, but he was on the first squad to shoot it. And he went first on that, and he ended up with some kind of magazine issue. Like, I think he went for a reload, because remember in IPSC Shotgun, you only have 10 round open mags. So he shot to the bottom of his first mag. He went for the reload. I think that one fell out. And then he tried another one, and that one didn't stay in. And then he ran for another one on the ground, or maybe his oh shit mag fell off his belt, so he had to run back for that. It wasn't pretty. So it wasn't off. It wasn't off to a good start. And so it was oh man, I hope Joe can get it back together, but so we could see him run against Scott and Brian, which this score ended up sticking. He got an 84.6, but that ultimately landed him 7 points behind Brian Nelson in the 5th spot.
Yep.
And then behind him, that's indeed Keith Garcia, and then who's going to be on the senior? Ruben Alexson would probably be second alternate, who didn't shoot this match, and then Mike Whiteside's also probably going to be on the senior team. So,
sick. Senior team stacked up.
Dude, open senior is stacked.
Look at that. Awesome. We got any more open stuff? Is there? There's not enough ladies to make a ladies open, we think, right?
We'll get there when it's time. They're towards the bottom of the list.
Oh, they got categories at the bottom. So
yeah.
I'm scrolling this spreadsheet for the first time. All right.
Next is modified.
Yeah. Who didn't see this one coming?
And so, because we all knew that AJ was on the top, unbeatable. And so, here for a good time, not a long time, at registration, I'm like, AJ, I need you to do a service for me. I need you to shoot these clays on 10. Because the math, Houston, back to Houston Russell shot this match with the staff on Friday. So he was one of the other ones he was one of the other guinea pigs that was getting watched. He saw me shoot it. I shot the activator, all those clays or all those poppers in the front, and then I kind of ran looking up in the air, waiting for the clays to present, to shoot them, and then shoot everything else. And then everybody who had a chance to backseat drive that one was like, yeah, that ain't it. So Houston just shot the whole thing without even trying to shoot the clays. He just tried to shoot the 12 poppers down, just crush all the poppers as fast as he could. He did that. So I did it in like 13.5. He did it in 9 without
Jesus.
And then everybody, I'm just going to pick on Martini because he's kind of the head of this group. But he's like, yep, that's the way to do it. Not even messing with those clays, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, shit, man, this is the coolest thing that nobody's going to shoot at. Like, whatever, but what's the rule of a bonus target? It's a bonus until somebody hits it. So I'm trying to convince somebody early in the match, like, hey, man, why don't you shoot that? AJ was on the last squad to shoot it. And he ended up getting a reshoot because I think he was like the first one or one of the first ones to shoot it on his squad, but they actually forgot to reset the activator. So they forgot to stick the thing in the machine that makes it throw.
So were they just like yeeting clays into the grass for 2 straight days, just burning up like 3 boxes of clays that nobody was shooting at?
It was a 1-day match, but yeah, they pretty much yeeted. They yeeted a bunch of clays out there that nobody shot at. And
that hurts me in the feels, man.
Yeah, and it hurt the home guys at Heartland too. They're like, man, I worked really hard to set that thing up, and no one's gonna shoot at it. Yep. Also, AJ gets a reshoot. He's on the bottom of the stack on the last squad of the day. He's got nothing to lose, and so they had figured it out that they essentially had enough time. They were gonna shoot everything. Like, they were going to go full ham.
Shoot the activator, the whole stage.
And be up there waiting for him.
Dude, that's gangster.
And he did. And he got him.
Yes. Yeah.
He shot the whole stage, fastest time. So he got like his time was like 6 something, like 6.9 or. What? So he got the fastest time and he got both clays. He got a 7.7 hit factor and just crushed everybody's soul.
God, dude.
Oh,
that's savage.
And the other thing,
so savage.
Because most of the really good guys who had something to lose were playing it safe. So a lot of times it was middle of the pack guys who were actually going for it. And without fail, they would go for it and a couple would get them. So they would hit both of them and then something catastrophic would happen in the last window.
Oh, no.
Some kind of jam. They'd run out of ammo. They'd drop the quad. So we'd see it, and we'd be like, yeah! And then we'd be like, no! But AJ figured out the cure to the curse. He's like,
this stage.
Yeah. AJ figured it out because he's like, you shoot everything else, and then you shoot those. So even if it goes bad, there's nothing left to shoot after you're done shooting them. So... Yeah, you just gotta crush the stage 5 seconds faster than everybody, and you'll be fine.
Just be 5 seconds faster. Yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense as like an overall strategy. Just be like, hey, I've shot all the things, and if I score up and they're there, I'll shoot them, and if they're not, then I won't.
Yep.
Like it totally makes sense as a strategy. But yeah, what a savage dude. AJ is on an absolute tear this year.
Yeah.
I mean, like, 1 nats with a tube gun. And then laid down a solid 3 hundo to qualify in the top spot for the 2026 Shotgun World Shoot.
And his throwaway score is a 99.36.
Yeah, his throwaway is a 99. What in the hell, dude? Oh my God.
And he put 12% into the rest of the field. So... just like John and Varick is like, damn, bro, like leave some points for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he crushed everybody. Second place, I think, was 88%. I forget who it was.
Yeah, 88 was second place. Yeah. Dude, it's freaking wild. Our boy Taylor Olhausen coming home in a solid second. And then, third, fourth, and fifth are tight.
Yes.
Sam Larkin, 277.4. Connor Freiberger, 277.07. Houston Russell, 273.9. Yikes.
Yeah.
Super, super tight on the bubble spot there. So, so the top 4 ends at Connor. Houston in the 5 spot. and then Dylan Easley right behind them. Yeah, it's looking good up top. And I'm looking down here a little ways. I see that Lena did not shoot this match, so she did not make the top 4, saving everybody from the Williams sisters ladies on the overall team saga. Should be noted her 3 scores are a 96, a 96, and then a 51 in Minnesota, where she shot half the match. And if my math is right, anything in the 90s would have put her in the top 4. So,
Yep.
Yeah, kind of a bummer about that. But like we just said, like life will just change what's about to happen. So the top 4 are not guaranteed, because sometimes life happens to you.
Yep. And at least I was able to stay in front of her in the top 10.
I did just see that. So good job
that's
staying
about,
in front of her.
That's about all I got out of this.
Maxwell eked out Lena Michalak by shooting all 6 qualifiers and beat her with her 2 90s and a 50. Good job, buddy.
Yep. This match, and this was my... I didn't think this was my worst match, but it was definitely my worst score.
Yep.
Had a slug 0 issue.
Ooh.
That's unfortunate. But
so maybe you should have turned around and picked up your new Briley shotgun.
Hey, man,
could have been worth it.
Well, we'll never know. We'll never know.
Never will. Yep.
All right. Standard.
Okay. Down the list.
Oh,
yeah.
We got some action here.
We do have some action here.
I haven't actually looked at this yet.
Man, this is really interesting.
All right.
Well,
not Rob.
Go for it.
Chuck Lowe. Chuck Lowe squeaked out a number 1. He only shot the last 3 matches. He did not shoot the first 3 matches. He just shot Kansas, Minnesota, and Nebraska. Ended up with a 298 in the top spot. That's pretty gangster. Yeah, I mean,
just leaving it till the end, no mulligans.
Yeah,
and just went in like a G.
Yeah, pair of hundos and a 98 and like slow clap.
That's pretty sick, dude. That's pretty sick. Hey, what? When their names are red, what's that mean?
They have scores in more than one division.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Chuck
is that why Chuck has some did Chuck shoot modified before that? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So Chuck had a 99 in modified and then bounced to, what was your 99.5 not good enough, Chuck? What the shit, bro?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So he's like, I got a 99.5. I don't like that. I'm going to switch to standard.
Sounds like somebody I do a podcast with.
kind of sounds like it. All right. Second place, the man, the myth, the legend, Nate Staskowitz.
AMU also going 3 and out.
Yeah.
Texas, South Carolina, and Kansas.
Yep. Shot his triple and bounced.
And
like a gangster.
Head to head against Chuck in Kansas, Nate had a hundo and Chuck had a 98. But he's right there behind Chuck with a 293.6.
Yep. And third spot,
Evan Craig
Jr. He is young. I'm getting old enough that now everybody under 25 looks like they're 12, but
I know, right?
Evan's pretty young. He might be a junior.
I don't know if he is.
Either way, Evan Craig bringing home the 3 spot like a gangster. He was shot on the squad with him in Texas, and he was shooting quite well. So I'm stoked to see him putting in work and laying down 3 mid-90s to take home the 3rd spot. It's pretty sweet.
And he flipped the team here because I believe he was in the 5th spot.
Oh, he climbed 2.
I believe
92 in Nebraska.
Yeah, I believe he was in the 5th spot. So I think he bumped Jeremy down and Matt out or something like that. But
wild.
4th spot we got Jeremy Leitner. Solid performance all year, although kind of tapering off here towards the end. Dipping below the 90s for an 89 and an 89. But
Yep.
he's right behind Evan with a 281. And then right behind him is Matt Martini at 279.6. Leitner put 7% into Martini in Nebraska, but neither of those scores were keepers for them. Or J.K. Kahn right behind Matt as well. So none of those scores keepers for them, but Evan bested them enough to get enough points to bump up his odds and knock off his 83 from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, interesting in the top 5 here.
And then also just shout out to the hometown boy, my guy Cody West from Minnesota, sitting in the 7th spot. He got a hundo at Arnzen last year in Minnesota. He put up an 80 and a 79 to be in the 7th space. So Cinderella story comes out of nowhere. Landed himself probably a 2nd or 3rd alternate spot for World Shoot. So good shooting, Cody.
Nice job.
But
All right.
that team flipped quite a bit. Now that
Yeah,
because
it's pretty interesting with all these teams. I think we all were like, yep, 1st and 2nd are going to be one of these two guys, and 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, who knows? Like that next step down is quite thick in that area.
Yeah, so we had a bunch of people jump up from the middle of the pack of the list and then shuffle a few people back. So yeah, quite a big shakeup here in Nebraska, and a handful of people that didn't shoot. I mean, a lot of the top guys figured they had enough points, didn't actually shoot this match. Nate being one of them, Taylor being another, John Weidel being another. So interesting how that all played out.
Yeah, that was a cool one to watch. All right, standard manual.
Standard
with all the hundos. Ross Haney's throwaway score is a hundo in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Oh, my guy shot 4 hundos and kept 3 of them. That is so sick. That's so sick. Oh man. So I would say Ross is pretty solid in the one spot there.
Yeah. And he's shooting like a ghetto Stoger 3000. Like he's
Is he for real?
Yeah.
He's shooting a Stoger? That's awesome.
Yeah. And so somebody, Evan Nichols, had a Nova Speed that he borrowed from Travis at this match. And Ross tried it, just like messing around with it on the side. And he was like, dude, oh my God. He's like, it's so much faster than what I'm shooting. So as fast as Ross is, he can go even faster with an Italian Benelli instead of a Turkish Benelli.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he also said...
Evan Craig, specifically Evan Craig's parents, take note of what we just said.
Yes.
Because he's shooting a Stoker as well.
Yeah. And I think he also said there's...
Here we go. Craig parents, if you're listening up, OTP 10% off, Bradley Manufacturing. Hook your boy up.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I left an HK M1 Super 90 on the shelf at Brownells in
there you go.
Iowa. I forget the name of that town, but it's there. $700.
Hop on the road. Head out there. Send it to Bradley. They'll fix it up.
But Ross he kind of knew he obviously knew he had this one in the bag. So he said he actually kind of started messing around towards the end. And and somebody that he shoots with, I forget exactly who, but he said they've kind of like settled within one match point of each other many times. And he's like, he basically laid up and was messing around, and he still beat him by exactly one match point.
Solid.
Well,
it sounds like that must have been a Samuel Reisberg.
Maybe it was. Yeah, maybe it was Sam. I mean, now I feel kind of dumb
he
saying
finished
that.
at a 99.9 at that match.
Yeah.
So he has So his total score is 299.7.
Yes.
So he has a hundo in Minnesota last year, and then he has 299.9 and .8 second place finishes to Ross. So not messing around either. Just can't quite eke it out against a Ross. But man, this is going to be a solid team over there. I'm stoked.
Sam is one that we went and found in the woods and said, like, hey, your country needs you. We need you to do this.
Was he chopping firewood with his shirt off?
Probably. Probably.
Oh, yeah. And Evan Nichols in the 3 spot.
Yep.
And in the 4 spot, Tennille Childester. So I take back what I said about the Williams sisters problem. Seems to have carried over into standard manual. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
The day after our last pod aired, word on the street is Tennille called Travis and said, I'm not trying to be on the overall team. So you have the spot.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That is, I had that on good information that she is not trying to be on the overall team.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, in 5th, now in 4th, our boy, Travis Vogel. I'm glad to see that Travis is putting my caddies to good use. I feel like that was I had to sacrifice one for my country, and I did my part.
All gave some gave all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then so the 6th spot, which is now the 5 spot, is Katrina Reed. So pretty interesting here.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that's probably the least amount of surprises that we have is in standard manual. Despite first appearances.
Yeah. All right. Now we have some ladies, we have some seniors.
Open lady.
We do have enough for an open ladies team here for sure.
Yep. So Lanny Barnes, 3 and out.
Yeah.
Didn't show Nebraska. Didn't expect to see her, honestly. Amory Reed. I think Amory Reed jumped up that list, I think.
So, yeah.
Because she was...
Well, here's the thing. I think we're running into some issues, though, because you have to have 3 bubble scores above 60% to qualify, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the threshold.
Interestingly, the 3 space, Jacqueline Clary, am I even remotely saying that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so she's in the 3 spot with a 62, a 66, and a 64. Amory Reed is above her, beat her out by 2 points, but she got a 71, a 66, and a 56. So I think this is going to be one of those things that kind of go to committee as it were.
And I think,
and then, good.
I think the main thing committee is going to look at is they're going to come down to Allison and Tina, because like Allison McGilly sitting on a 54, a 56, a 55. Her Nebraska score was a 52, and her Texas score was a 48. So I think that's going to be one. These are things this is speculation now, all right? Speculation for you literal people out there. We're speculating. If you don't know what speculating means, you should look it up in the dictionary. The way allocations normally go, from what I understand, we don't know when they're coming, and we don't know how many we get. But typically in the past, the first round of allocations of slots to World Shoot is 24 for us. And so with 24 slots to send to the World Shoot, based on what we've talked about so far and what we're going to get to, I would imagine we're going to send all 4 overall teams, an open senior, and a lady standard. Those are, I don't think anybody would disagree that those are the ones that qualified first. So that would be 24 slots. And then we're going to wait for the next allocation of slots. Once IPSC goes around to all the confederations, so we are a confederation of IPSC, they go to all the confederations, offer them their slots, and then not all of those countries take all of their slots. So usually there are slots left over. So IPSC comes around again and either says, you can have this many if you want them, or they say, how many would you like? You have to pay for them on the spot. So this is kind of a thing where if you're interested in going to the World Shoot, you need to kind of have your ducks in a row and be ready to drop the hammer with 24 hours notice. Not 24 hours notice of leaving, but like you're going to get, hey, we have a slot. Are you in or you out? So this is where our regional director, Leighton's going to say, okay, we will either take however many you're giving us or we would like so many. But in that second round, I think that is where an open lady team, it could be argued, would be fielded. So do we have 4 ladies that have hit 3 threshold 60% or better scores? No. However, when the committee looks at it, they might look at it and say, well, they were pretty close, because it's like it's 55, a 56, a 55. It's not, a 38, a 29, a 42, so like they didn't meet threshold, but they're close to threshold. So I would bet an open lady team does not get fielded in the first round. I do feel like an open lady team will get fielded, though. I'm not sure. That would be Adam Maxwell's speculation.
Yep. Look up speculation. Don't send us your emails. Don't. Just don't.
And I would say the same thing for modified lady. We have Lena. Lena did not show to Nebraska, so she's sitting on the top with her 96, 96, 51. Ursula Williams is in second place. She did not better her score in Nebraska, but she's got a 67, a 63, and a 60. Looks like her slug zero might have been off too. She's as low as I was. And Heather Miller, Cinderella story comes out of nowhere. I think the ladies found her fly fishing in a stream as well, because she came into the series late, put up a 62, a 63, and a 57. 57. But she's got 3 60-ish% scores. And then Cindy Coker has a 54, a 52, a 58, and a 52. So I would say that's a lower priority or a lower eligibility team. But I could see a similar case being made for Lady Modified if there's enough spots.
Yep.
I don't think it's the first round, but I think it'll happen.
Yeah, then we get down to standard lady, which probably will be first round because every qualifying score I see here is in the 70s or better. Becky Ackley in the top spot. Jaylise Williams in the second. Hannah Nichols behind her. And, I take that back. Ashleen Thomas with a 69, a 67, and a 54. So pretty darn close to everybody just having a whole bunch of high 60s to low 70s. But yeah, definitely a more solidified team, I would say, than the other two.
Yeah, for sure. I would think this team gets fielded. Becky Ackley, she shot in Nebraska, but she shot in modified, I think, just for the hell of it. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's what she said. And she was pretty comfortable with her spot on the lady standard team. In my head, this one gets fielded. I would say this is a team that's going to go. And honestly, if we go back to lady modified for just a second, I'm almost glad that whether Lena decided to not shoot this match or she had some other obligation and couldn't shoot it, I'm unclear on that. I don't know her personally. And so, but if you look at that team, if Lena would have came and shot a high 90s score, she would have been on the overall team. Yes. But like we said, the third, fourth spot and the first couple of alternates in overall modified were super tight and super competitive. So I don't think the overall team is any stronger or weaker if any one of those, we'll say 7 people, well, not even 7, but any of those 5 people in the running for those slots, I don't know that the team is necessarily stronger or weaker based on who that person is. I think we've shown that we have a lot of talent of that caliber to fill out a team.
Yep.
The same or the inverse could not be said for Lady Modified. If Lena made the overall team, did not shoot on the modified lady team, I don't know that we have a Lady Modified team. Because I would say Lena's performance is probably the one that makes that look as strong as it does.
Yep.
So you have a really strong Lena, you have a pretty solid Ursula, and then you have a pretty solid Heather, and then we could kind of bring along a Cindy or a Sophia. But without Lena at the top there, that team looks much different.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So I think whether it was on purpose or by accident, I think this is probably the best outcome to field the most and the most competitive teams across the most categories, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so that's all the ladies categories. I don't know that we actually had enough ladies shooting standard high enough that I don't think they actually contabulated those scores.
I don't see it. Nope. So must not have been.
The other
So that puts us to open senior then.
Yep, I think.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I think this is the next one. This is probably the second or the strongest category team.
Yep. Yeah. So we got for the open senior team, Keith bringing up the lead spot, and so because there's some date stuff going on here. I think Mike Whitesides is actually in second place because he's going to be a senior when the match happens, but isn't a senior now. Do I have that correct?
Yep. So Mike is going to age into this category. He has a 260.5. And Daniel Leak is also going to age into this category. And he's sitting at a 251. So
Nice.
just holding on to those numbers in our
that's
head, what does that do to the senior team?
Yeah. So that is the did I hear you say that Rube is going to be a senior as well?
Oh, I did not say that.
Okay, I must have misheard that then.
Yeah, Ruben
anyways,
is not 40, so he is definitely not a senior.
that's why I was super confused. I was like, do I just have no I'm getting to be an age where I can no longer tell how old people are when I look at them. And so I was just like, have I catastrophically misjudged how old Ruben is?
I also ran into that problem early in the season when I was trying to figure out if anybody in front of me in modified was going to be on a modified senior team, and I think I offended some of my friends asking them, so I stopped asking.
Well, so wait, what's the age cutoff for senior?
I think it's 50.
50?
I think it's 50.
Dude, Daniel's 49.
It's either 50 or it's 55. I'm not sure which.
All right. Well, Daniel, find one of us and let us know how old you are, buddy, because whichever one of those it is, my guy, you are looking good.
Yeah, dude.
You don't look a day over 35, my man.
And that,
damn,
kids, is why
I'm jealous.
you should hold on to the dream and grow up to be a fireman.
That's right. 100%. Yeah, so the open senior team isn't what the spreadsheet shows.
So we got
shows Keith, then Santiago, then Todd Wydell. So we're gonna have Keith, Mike Whitesides, Daniel, then Santiago, then Todd. And Santiago and Todd are 2 points away from each other.
Yeah.
So very, very tight race there for that alternate spot.
Absolutely. And Todd will be ready to go regardless because he's the first dad of 3-gun, and we'll be going to watch his son. So,
yep, yeah. So if he's going to be there anyways, makes it pretty easy. And then looking down at the open senior super senior team, I don't see this being a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bait bucket on the end of Memorial Day weekend. They're kind of swimming around in there, but they're not very excited.
Yep.
I mean, Mig has 3 solid scores.
Yeah.
We could even apply the same rule to Ralph. Ralph has got a 53.9, a 55.7, and a 54.6. The problem is it falls off after that. Yeah, we got 38s, we got 40s, we got 33s. Rick Byfield put up a 62, but he only shot one match, and his local match. So I don't see a whole lot of viability in an open super senior team. But like I said, I'm pretty sure in the first round we're going to field all of with the slots as they're allocated. Traditionally, we'll probably have enough slots for all the overall teams. Open senior, ladies standard. I would imagine when the slots come around again, that we would probably have an open lady and a modified lady. And then it goes even deeper into speculation because people were, our buddy Jay Carrillo was trying to rally the troops for a senior modified team. Jay only has 2 scores in modified, and then he was trying to recruit other people from other divisions. So, people who were shooting solid in other divisions. I'm sorry, George, I'm blanking on your last name. Can I find it quick?
Pressure.
That's horrible radio.
Pressure.
Horrible radio.
You don't want dead air time.
Dead air time.
Nobody wants that. Don't fuck this up, Maxwell. Come on.
Oh man, now we're committed. Oh,
Scroll better. Scroll better.
Oh no.
Give the fans something to listen to. He's choking, folks.
I'm choking so hard right now. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm out. Anyway,
okay.
So
after all of that, never found it.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
But
Oh god.
he's like, so Jay was trying to recruit some other folks to be on a senior modified team, but they don't have 3 scores in modified. So then the subjective question is, with the spots we have left, do we put together a team in a category where we know they're like solid shooters, but they didn't try in the season for the team that they're trying to be on? Or do we look at someone like, like a Todd Waddell? Todd Waddell didn't make a team. He shot every stinking match. He missed the team by the hair on his shinny chin. Is it better? Is it in the interest of the Confederation or the delegation to send people who were active and invested in a division as delegates, or is it better to put together these other teams? And what teams would these even be? That is where speculation would run abound, and I don't even know how the other committee members would feel about that. But some of that's out there too. I would probably come down on the side of we would give delegate slots to people that participated based on their participation instead of cobbling together teams. But I could be convinced either way. But we'll see how that goes. Once you are a delegate, once you have a delegate slot, you aren't necessarily committed to a division. So if I were to get a delegate slot just because I qualified in modified, I'm not obligated to shoot modified in the match because I'm not on a team. So I could shoot any division I want. And so some of that has happened in the past too. People got delegate slots. They got delegate slots because they shot lights out with revolver and then they tried to jump into production or something like that. And feelings are across the board on that kind of stuff. But just because you get a delegate slot doesn't mean you're committed to a division that you qualified in either. So
interesting.
So it remains to be determined.
I think that makes sense in shotgun, especially because like standard modified, while they all are different, like the skill set's sort of the same. That I can see people going back and forth on that.
Yeah. And I don't expect any of this will be settled anytime soon because everyone else is in South Africa right now shooting handgun, the primary focus of the organization. So I don't think anything's going to happen on this officially until Handgun World Shoot is over. Everyone gets back, sleeps off their jet lag, gets caught back up at work, and has 2 to 3 weekends at the lake with their kids. And then they'll probably look at it.
Yeah,
but
far down the list.
That's probably the most information we're going to get on this for a minute. But that is the most up-to-date information that we have.
Well, we done did it, folks. All the matches, all the scores. We now know who at least has the potential to go. And I am really looking forward to these single gun matches becoming more and more of a thing. I'm really stoked. It sounds like there's going to be 3 shotgun only matches next year. Did I hear all that right?
I'm pretty confident there will be at least 3. I'm pretty confident Dissident is going to do one early in the spring. I'm pretty confident that Mill Creek will do another one late spring, early summer. I know for a fact Kirkwald will be again the 3rd weekend in August.
You know a guy there?
Yeah, and then there may be some others. Next year's also a rifle qualifier year. I'm fairly confident we have 5 or so matches in this same vein for rifle. I'm pretty sure we're going to have Zoo City in March, late March at Griffin Group, which is where Memorial and Battle for the South is held. So solid range. Bob Stone is heading up one at Arena Shooting Center in
Bob.
Georgia.
Awesome.
Pretty confident in that one. He's eyes on the prize pretty much for sure on that one, I think. We're talking Rio Salado, somewhere in there. Tons of politics at Rio Salado. I'm not sure when, where, if that one will land. California, Chance Landernow is going to do one in California at his club, which name escapes me because California's not actually a place. It's kind of its own planet. Yeah. And then I got about as firm a commitment out of Aaron Hayes as you can get that there's going to be one at Texas Shooting Academy, which is Aaron's home range, not Reveille Peak, his home range in Austin, Texas, late September, early October.
Nice, dude. That's a pretty full schedule then.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I will not be going to all the rifle ones. I'm just saying it right up front so everybody knows. If anyone is really gung-ho about the rifle, this is your call to action to get involved. But as far as I'm aware, those are all going off, and they will fall in this kind of same process again.
Awesome. Well, next season is going to be sweet. This season still has several matches left. I think I have 3 more majors on my calendar. Maxwell, it sounds like you have 4-ish, and lots of LQs between now and then. So
gonna definitely put down the quads for a little while, though.
Yeah. I bet you're pretty happy to stop with that shenanigans for at least a little chunk of time.
And I would also like to say, more people than normal pulled me aside and personally thanked me for what I did for all of this stuff. And I do just want to say thank you very much, all of you, for taking the time to do that. It does really mean a lot, and I'm really going to try and hold on to that while I try to cope with looking at my scores because those didn't turn out the way I wanted. But for all of you that went out of your way to come say thank you, I really do appreciate it. I don't do it alone. I certainly did a lot, but we had a really great group of people come together to make this all happen. Most of these matches happened on a bare bones crew of volunteers. I think we had like 9 guys. Well, 9 people. There were some ladies. We had 9 volunteers ROing this whole match in Nebraska, and I think there was 8 of us in Texas. So like bare bones crew, but some people really did step up to make this happen, and I'm really excited for our chances to bring home some medals here next fall. So, yeah, thanks to everybody that participated, and also the ones that reached out.
Heck yeah. Yeah, a heartfelt thanks goes a very, very long ways. Well, ladies and gentlemen, keep your overlays handy. And as it turns out, we now have shotgun overlays. And they got used.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Nebraska.
Oh, yeah, they did.
So we're it's starting to become a real thing.
And WADs have grease
Thanks
rings.
everyone for taking place.
WADs have grease rings. You know who you are.
Oh, man. Oh, man. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.